It's Nick Shell. Now, what's different about me today? Yeah. Is it pink eye? It's possible. I've never had pink eye, but that is possible. And I'll be making a different video about that later today that most people won't watch because it's not about hair, but that's for a different video. And you're thinking, Nick, why are you walking away from the comments tree? Well, because today's video, I'm here to prove to you that I can actually come up with my own content sometimes. Like I always used to before the comments tree became so popular. So, there's a truck. You want to look at that truck? As you know, they are remaking the Ford Ranger and Bronco. You heard about that, right? Here's the deal. I've been watching this series that's on Netflix called The 80s. Have you heard of it? It's a new release on Netflix. It's produced by Tom Hanks. Who doesn't love Tom Hanks? Plus, he's got the receding hairline or whatever you want to call it going on. We can call it balding or whatever he's got. He's got that going on, and he does it right. He shows that men in Hollywood can not have a, quote, full head of hair, but have major receding or hair loss, and still be a very likable, profitable guy. But we're not here to talk about Tom Hanks, but his show instead, The 80s. I've watched several episodes of it. In particular, I just finished the one on Reagan. I watched it last night. And what I was noticing is it kept showing news broadcasts of things that happened during the 80s about Reagan. And I wrote these names down because I want to make sure I got them right. The names I have written down based on the footage: Peter Jennings, Brian Williams, even. Well, he wasn't from the 80s, but still, he's still falls in the category that I'm going to talk about. And Tom Brokaw. Really, I should talk. If I want to keep this 80s theme, then I should just talk about Peter Jennings and Tom Brokaw, especially. They're really the main ones I should focus on. Peter Jennings, Tom Brokaw. I know that a lot of you weren't even alive in the 80s. I know that, but I was born in 81. That was how my life started, was the 80s. So that's how I grew up. And something I noticed as I watched this 1980s footage of Peter Jennings and Tom Brokaw, and there's others like them, but they had, in my opinion, hair kind of, I hit that one. That's not the first time I hit that with my elbow. All right, but something they had in common was that they were receding. They had hair loss, perhaps even worse than mine. I know Peter Jennings did, and so by my age, they had perhaps even less hair than I did. And what did they do about it? They just kind of grew it out, kind of to a medium long length, and it kind of resembled this, in my opinion. It wasn't like a comb over because they weren't bald on top, but they thought, you know what? I'm receding. I'm going back here a ways, but I'm not gonna, and they didn't have it short on the sides and the back either. They just have this cloud thing going on, which is what I'm doing. And so anyway, this relatively short video today, I just wanted to acknowledge that I think I'm borrowing the idea of 1980s news anchors, that a lot of them, they don't have these perfect heads of hair, but they just had a hairstyle and went along with it, and no one ever noticed or cared, which I think actually is ultimately the issue. But I was like, I found inspiration by watching them because I thought, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Mid-30s, got a hairline going up. I don't want to do the trendy thing anymore about having it really short on the sides and the back and then growing it long. And I did that last summer. I'm over it. I want to do this now. This is what I want to do. So, inspiration from 1980s news anchors like Tom Brokaw, Peter Jennings. Google image them, take a look at, see what I mean. And again, I know it's distracting with my eye. I know that's distracting. Okay? And I thought at first, should I just take a break from making videos a few days until that clears up? No, because that's against my principles. Remember, I don't edit videos. I keep the camera rolling no matter what happens. I just keep the camera rolling. And it makes things more interesting to hear me stutter and stumble and hit my elbow on the rearview mirrors, and to watch men load boxes into dumpsters. I mean, that makes life more interesting. So I wonder how long it's going to take for this to go away, but I'll make another video about that you won't watch. Hey, by the way, thank you. I noticed yesterday I passed 900 subscribers, and I'm very grateful for that. And you're special because you're part of the original. You know, eventually it's going to be 1,000 before we know it, and you will be able to have the glory of saying, you know what, I was one of the first 1,000 subscribers on Nick's channel. I didn't wait to be the 1,001st or the 1,000th. I was in the first original 1,000. Can you imagine how much bragging rights that gives you in the world? I mean, that's huge. That is so big of a deal that might actually trump Trump's inauguration tomorrow. Like, instead of him being the people are, oh wow, you're one of the first 900. Wow, that really is a big deal. You committed to Nick Shell before he even really got that good at what he did. Which, by the way, imagine for those of you who subscribe when I only had a couple hundred subscribers. Hopefully, I've gotten better at what I've done, what I'm doing here. But I gotta extend that back to you. I think I get better because of my subscribers. I honestly think that's why I get better at what I do. Because obviously these days things are more based on your comments, which are more relative to what other people are going to be searching and wanting to hear about. So it keeps things flowing and keep things going there. So thank you for commenting and keeping this going. And then I just return it back to you. This is a rare occasion that I didn't do the comment tree. And it's rare too because, is that pink eye? Okay, you'll have to watch my other video if you want to know anything more about it. Pink eye.